Hey, Warren here. Welcome back to my garage. I'm really stoked about today. We are going to get the front end of the Camaro finished up, and we're going to do that in style with this brand new Wilwood SuperLite 6 brake kit. I've got it all sitting here in front of me. It comes with Spec-37 rotors, or a two-piece rotor, a hat, a rotor. It comes with the lines. I got the 6-piston calipers. It comes with the brake pads. I got the high performance brake fluid. So we are not going to waste any time. We're going to get after this thing and see how it looks. This kit is actually going to be a perfect complement to the new C5 spindles and the C7 hubs that I purchased from Classic Performance Products. This kit I also purchased from Classic Performance. It's actually a C5 or C6 Corvette front brake kit with 14-inch rotors. So let's open up a few boxes and see what some of this stuff looks like. So let's open these up and drool over them for a couple minutes before we start putting them together. So this is the hat. Very important. It says use an inch-pound wrench, which I do have one. We will be using it. This is a hat. I mean, it don't get much nicer than this, honestly. That and medium pizza size rotor with more warnings you definitely want to read. Alright, so yeah, this thing is the size of a medium pizza. It's nice. Yeah, it's gonna be nice. Alright, I'll get this flipped over and we'll start assembling it. So I'm done loving on these things, so let's get them assembled and get them on the car. So I got the hat. I'm going to set it upside down with the flat sides here, make sure there's nothing, dirt or nothing on it. Do the same thing with the rotor here. Line up the holes. Okay, I want to get them pretty close. I'm going to take a red paint pen and I'm going to mark 2 of them opposite from each other. And those are the ones that I will assemble first. So they want to do a crisscross pattern. So red Loctite on each bolt. I got 1 washer on each bolt, 12. Alright, so these 2, I'll take my time and work them in. That'll center up the other ones. And then I will just start working my way around with each of the other ones. You want to be careful with these things. The smaller the bolt, and the easier it is to screw them up. So I'll just take my time and run them all down finger tight. And make sure, like the directions say, use a inch-pound torque wrench. That's what I'll be using, because you don't need a lot on these things. So make sure if you don't have one, borrow one. But I'm using a 5/16 1/4-inch socket on a inch-pound wrench. Now it says to torque these to 155 inch-pounds, so, and a crisscross pattern. So I'm going to start with the 2 red bolts and then I'll just work my way around. And then just to be extra sure, I will go over all the way around one time. Make sure I didn't miss anything. All right, they're all torqued. Oh, mommy, that is so beautiful. Here's the caliper bracket. Make sure you read the instructions. Got the hardware for the caliper. And that's it. Beautiful. Wilwood suggests using 2 shims in between the spindle and the new bracket. So that's what we will do. We'll put 2 shims on here. On the bottom, get it started. Bring this up. Get it started. Okay. Get them tightened down hand tight, and then tighten them up at the socket, and then we'll put the rotor on and check for fit. I tightened the 2 bolts down with a 21mm socket. So now we're ready to put the rotor on. Grab 3 lug nuts and line up the right holes. Oh, mommy, that looks good. Here's the new 6-piston calipers. I would go with those nice 14-inch rotors. Look them over for a minute or two. And then since we got the rotor on, now we can slide this down and check it for fit. I got the rotor on with 3 lug nuts. The caliper bracket is tightened down. So I will do what the directions say. Add 1 spacer and 1 shim. And from there, bolt down the caliper, and we'll see how it lines up. So I'll grab a wrench and tighten these down. I'll get the camera out of the way so I can look at it and see how it looks. I've got everything bolted together properly. Everything's tightened down. Looking at it carefully, I don't know if it's easy to tell on the camera, but it looks like it needs to go that way 1 shim. The original directions said 2 shims. I put 2 shims in. It looks like 1 is going to be the right amount, which was what it was on the other side. And it's rubbing a tiny bit right here, so I think it needs 1 more shim pulling the caliper away from the rotor. So I'll switch that around and bolt it back up. Using a 21mm socket, I'll just loosen these up a little bit, and I'll take them out one at a time. There's 2 shims in there. I'll take out 1, put 1 back, and retighten it up and put the caliper back on. I took 1 shim out here, and then I'm adding 1 shim here. I'll bolt the caliper back on, and I'll see what we end up. The brake pads are in. I like all the changes with the 1 shim here and the 2 shims here on the caliper bracket. Everything seems to line up real good. So I will Loctite and torque these bolts down. I will torque these, no Loctite on these, and I'll put the bar back in here for the brake pads. 3/16 Allen wrench or Allen socket and a 7/16 socket will get these 2 things tightened up. The 2 bolts in the back get red Loctited and torqued down to 77 foot-pounds. The instructions say 30 foot-pounds and no thread locker on caliper bolts. Alright, so that's that. Last check before we move on. These bolts are 77 foot-pounds and are red Loctited. These caliper bolts are 30 pounds, so they are not Loctited. Make sure that the arrow on Wilwood is going the right way. Make sure that the arrow on the rotor is going the right way. And I think I'll throw the brake line on now. Now's as good time as any to peel off the sticker. Put a little PTFE thread sealant on the fitting, and I'll screw it in. I'll tighten it up with a 7/16, and then I'll put the line on and see what it looks like. They sent me a 16-inch line with the kit, but I decided to go with an 18-inch just so I could get it up and a little more out of the way, and I kind of have it half tethered with a little bit of a zip tie here, but that keeps it up and out of the way, and I don't have to worry about anything. So I decided to go with 18-inch. In addition to putting all the new stuff on the car, I'm also going to fix a couple issues I have, like this brake line right here, which is too close to the header. So I'll get under the car and bend on that for a while and see what I can do. And also I've gone ahead and decided to replace the master cylinder. Since all this new stuff on here, I might as well get a master cylinder and a proportioning valve built in so I can really dial in the brakes. I don't consider this a show car anymore, but I see the brake fluid ate up some of my paint. So, you know, we still want to keep it classy, San Diego. So, tape that off and hit it up a little bit, and back in business. I would say that wraps up our basic install. I am going to bleed the brakes in an upcoming episode when I put the new master cylinder in. So that's about it for right now, but check this out. That's just sweet.